The ASTRAL project is supporting the IMTA Lab Scotland, and we're working on a range of different species from seaweeds to high-value shellfish. We're growing native oysters at this site and trying to look at the methodology for co-culturing native oysters with seaweed. And in this way we can create efficiencies across both seaweed cultivation and oyster cultivation. We're also looking at a range of other species, including the species of red algae and green algae, as well as looking at other shellfish species. And importantly, we're looking at how we can combine these two activities in a way which creates an economically viable model and also create the environmental benefits of integrated multi-trophic aquaculture. So these are our native oysters, commonly known as flat oysters. We're looking at the growth rate of this high value shellfish species and comparing the growth rate at the seaweed farm to intertidal grown oysters, just some 600 metres behind me. All seaweed requires buoyancy in order to keep the seaweed at the optimum cultivation depth. And in this system we're replacing that buoyancy with the buoyancy provided by the oyster system. And in this way we can reduce the amount of materials used in seaweed cultivation whilst at the same time producing the opportunity to culture a high value shellfish species. We're looking at a range of other species including scallops, and we're also looking at a range of seaweed species including the reds and the greens, and some commercially important species within those two groups. We monitor the environment routinely here at the site in order to understand the environmental factors which influence the quality of the shellfish and the quality of the seaweed. And through the ASTRAL project we're looking at ways to optimise the entire system in order to make it more efficient and reduce the amount of materials that are needed in the cultivation process. These oysters were deployed just under a year ago from the hatchery. At that time they were 22 mil in size, and now they're double the size that we bought them at. And we expect that they will be ready for the table market in another year. So it's important that we split the cultivation of the seaweed with the cultivation of the shellfish in order to not double handle any of the different species that you're working with. Seaweed takes about 6 months to reach market size. The shellfish here take almost 2 years. So that's the reason for designing this new system.